What's up, everybody? I'm back with another video. Week 9 of commercial dive school is done. If you're not familiar with who I am or what I'm doing, my name's Hunter Oakley, and I'm doing like weekly recaps of how my school up in Seattle, Washington is, called the Divers Institute of Technology. So I'm kind of just keeping tabs and letting you guys know if you're curious or if you are looking in to do something like this, that this is kind of how it rolls and what we're doing each week. So I kind of keep tabs on myself and let you guys know. So I'll just dive right into it. No pun intended. But week 9, we started the basics of offshore rigging. So we got a new instructor. We'll have him for like the next 3 weeks, I think, maybe 4. He's a cool guy, very stern, but you can tell he cares and he knows his stuff. So Monday, we kind of went over how his barge is run. Most of the instructors, some of them have kind of their own barge setup and how they want it run, and kind of how they were, if they were to be supervising us out in the real world. So they're kind of each instructor, which is kind of like a supervisor, runs things differently, obviously. So Monday we did some classroom work for like half the day, just learning the basics of offshore rigging, and because we haven't really learned anything about offshore at all. We've just been kind of learning the basics almost of diving and a little bit of lift bag stuff. So we went over that in the classroom on Monday. And then the next half of that day, we went onto his barge. He showed us how it was kind of run, how he wants things, when we should show up in the morning, came up with a plan of when he can open it up for us. So a couple of the guys are showing up quite a bit early so we can crank out the gear and get everything set up for the day and start diving. So we figured that out Monday, and then Tuesday came. Oh yeah, well, I'll go over what we did. So we're gonna be doing, or we have been doing, 3 different like main projects on his barge for these first 2 weeks. 2 of them are a Midwater blackout. What do you call that? Midwater blackout project, where you have to put 2 flanges together, midwater, and do it with duct tape over your hat so you can't see a single thing. Everything is just by feel. But one of them is 2 elbow flanges, and they're at different heights in the water. One's probably like, I don't know, I'd say 8 feet down, and then the other one might be 15, 12. So you have to swing one of them up using a come along, or actually the 2 elbow flanges. The only way you can get it together is with line, and however you can get them together, whether it's a trucker's hitch or whatever you do to get them together, obviously. So a couple guys have been doing things differently. And then the other side of that project, the other blackout project, is a big gate valve. Same thing, and then you swing up this T flange to the gate valve, and you have to put them together and put, like, I think there's 8 bolts in each one. And so you have to do all that blacked out midwater. So that's been kind of challenging. I luckily on Tuesday I got to be a standby diver for the 2 guys doing the blackout project. So I could really sit there and watch and learn what they messed up, because it was a struggle. It's painful to watch, but I totally understand, because even just doing the blackout knot test, you get totally disoriented and you're confused. And so you would think, oh, just putting 2 flanges together and 8 bolts in it in an 80-minute dive is easy. No. Most of the guys haven't even got them completely together. They'll get them close, or they'll bring them together, but they can't get the bolts lined up. And so, but yeah, so luckily on Tuesday I was able to be the standby diver for those projects. So I just sat there and watched, made sure nothing went wrong. And if they would get themselves tangled up or whatever, I would go over and just help them or whatever. And then the other project on the other side of the barge, he kind of has, like I said, those two run together on rack 2. And then the rack 1 project is the Exxon project. I wish I had a picture of it. It's basically a big gate valve that's hanging in the water, mid-water, and we have a bucket or a big basket that we lower down, and it's got 4 T flanges in it and another big gate valve, and we have to put them all together in a certain order, in a certain time, and get as many bolts in as you can. We were only doing 80-minute dives, so 15 or probably, depending on how fast you get your travel line and everything. And so that bucket that I was saying has all the parts in it, and we have to put them onto that hanging gate valve. You have to put a travel line from that bucket to the project and then run a lift bag. It's just a small 100-pound lift bag, and you have to get all those parts over onto it, bolted up obviously, and 100% is all the bolts in, all tight. So a couple of the guys were kind of struggling with that. I did that the next day after I did standby diver for the blackout project. On Wednesday I did the Exxon project, which was putting all those together. And me and my partner, it's kind of a 2-man team, and then there's a standby diver there that doesn't really do anything but make sure in case anyone gets hurt or there's a diver down that he could rescue us. So we cranked that out. Actually, we were I think we were the first group to get it completely together within our dive. So I was pretty stoked about that. We didn't get all the bolts in and tight, but we did get it completely together, and so I was stoked about that. The only one problem we really had was the last, obviously we weren't as quick as I would like to have been, but it was our first time, like I said, and we did much better than a couple of the other guys, so I was stoked. But the one problem we ran into, big problem, was that last gate valve. That thing is heavy, and the way we tightened everything up, we didn't tighten everything up too much because we kind of wanted some wiggle room, but the way that we were putting everything together was kind of sagging those T flanges, and so it was hard to get that gate valve in, so that one took us a while. We sat there, wasted a lot of time wrestling that thing. So I think I know what I would do better the next time. So, and then another thing that I messed up on was there's a retrieval line they can send down parts or anything you need. So say you need more bolts, tell topside 8, I need more bolts. And they'll be like, okay, go over to the retrieval line, drop down retrieval line. Well, I screwed up and thought I clipped the stringer of bolts to my chest and didn't. They dropped to the bottom, but luckily it was all a big stringer of bolts, and we had a little bit extra time that day. So, and I think I was the first or second dive of the day, so we were setting up repeat divers to clean up bottom as the last dive of the day, which was like a 40-minute dive. And luckily I got to be on it, so I went down, found my stringer of bolts that I dropped, because we're doing all this mid-water project and we're only in like 20 feet of water, and the water there is, I think bottom is like 45 feet, so we didn't want me to drop all the way down to 45 and grab those stringers during the first dive, because it would have messed up tables and all that, so from what we were shooting for. So, but that was cool, yeah. So we did pretty good on that, and then, like I said, went down, did that repeat dive, scrounged around bottom, flashlight. Like, second you hit bottom, it just, everything explodes. You can't see anything anymore. But we found quite a few bolts and stuff, and Yep, that was pretty much it for Wednesday. And then Thursday, I got set up again to do the Exxon project. I was kind of beat from doing it the day before, but I was like, oh, sweet, get another shot at it. Maybe I could crank it out and get 100. But it was a rough one. I had a different partner this time, and we kind of weren't on the same page as me and the other guy, and so it was kind of hard to do that project. And then do the project on Thursday, that Exxon again. I thought I was going to be backtracking. I thought we weren't even going to finish it on Thursday. I thought I was going to do worse my second time, so I was not a happy camper, but we came together in the end, cranked it out, finished it. Got a few more bolts in than I did the day before, but not as many as I would have liked to. But I'm still happy for what the circumstances were for that dive. I'm super happy on how far we came on that project. And then, yeah, basically Thursday was a short day. We only did 2 dives, and then just cleaned up the barge real good because the weekend's coming or whatever, and he likes to do like a deep cleaning of the barge, make sure everything's in order, know where everything is, so we come back on Monday, everything is in order and ready to go. So that's pretty much it for week 9 of commercial dive school. It was a really solid week. I felt like came through a bunch just with experience, and like I said, that Exxon project, I felt like I learned a lot from doing it twice. And so next week I should be doing the blackout project, so I have an idea of what I'm gonna do. I hope it comes through. But it seems like a lot of the guys had an idea, and then they're like, yeah, once you get in the water, that idea just shoots out the window and stuff doesn't go as planned. But so I'm gonna try to stick to the plan I have and crank out that blackout project this week. But other than that, week 9 was super good. Crazy good weather here in Washington right now. Actually, it's been like 80 almost, so it was a good week. No freezing cold rain like the past few months have been, so finally seeing some sunshine. But I think the rain's coming back this week, so whatever. But anyways, yeah, so thanks a lot for watching, tuning in or whatever. And if you have any questions about anything, about the school, what the deal is, let me know, and I'll try to get back to you with the correct answer. So thanks a lot.